When a believer is well acquainted with their deen, and they understand the Book of Allah, and they understand the comfort, maw'idha, the heartfelt counsel, and the healing that the Book of Allah offers, that the Sunnah of His Messenger offers, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, then they can find comfort in the deen of Allah. But we're living in a strange time. We call it the information age, but for most of us, we don't really know much about our own religion. And so when that happens, we are prey very easily to shaitan. And when people go through hard times, then shaitan brings all kinds of thoughts to them. You know, somebody's sick and they're in the hospital and they're getting all kinds of waswasa about faith itself, questioning Allah Himself, questioning qadr itself. People lose a job, people have a hard time in a marriage, there are difficulties in studies, or maybe health related, and it's very easy to start questioning whether or not Allah even cares. Why would He do this to me? I prayed all of Ramadan, I even went to do Umrah, and I still asked Allah to heal my child or to get rid of this problem, and I still have that problem. And that's in your personal life. But on top of that, there are crises in the world. There are many of you who have family, for instance, in Syria and places like Syria all over the world that are on fire, where families aren't safe, children aren't safe, where all kinds of human disaster is happening and people are being killed. It's almost like fulfilling the word of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where the killer will not know why he's killing and the killed will not know why they're being killed. People start not only questioning, why is this happening in my personal life, they start questioning, why is all this crazy stuff happening in the world? Where is Allah in all of this? Can't He just fix these problems? And it's not like we're not making dua. Qunutun nazila every night in so many masajid around the world. Ya Allah, aid us against the enemies of the deen, but it seems like the enemies are just getting better and better at spilling more and more blood. So at that point, somebody gets really frustrated with their religion. And they start thinking, there's no point. Why do I even make dua? What's the point of it? Nothing's going to change. And this is actually a very common problem. As a result of this problem, a few things happen. For a number of people, they stop praying altogether. Inna salata tanha anil fahsha'i wal munkar. The salah itself, it in fact prevents you from all kinds of shameless, indecent behavior, and it prevents you from all kinds of evil. So when Allah says that, and somebody abandons salah, now they're actually prey directly to shaitan. All kinds of bad things are going to be done, and one won't even realize why they're doing it. But then there are those who haven't gone that far. They're actually still holding on to the deen, but they're holding on to it barely. You're barely making it to Jummah prayer. Even that's a struggle for you. And for some people, even, it gets so bad that they can't even spend too much time inside of a masjid. They start getting uncomfortable, they just have to leave quickly. That happens. And so about those people, and I've met many such people, and I don't think they're evil people. I do think, however, that certain fundamentals were not correct. Certain ideas, certain concepts, certain feelings are misplaced. And because of those misplaced feelings, one goes down a very dangerous path, all the way down to misguidance. In the one hand, in Surah Al-Hajj in the beginning, Allah Azza wa Jalla talks about people who have an agenda to misguide other people. Evil people who want nothing better than to just argue against Allah without any knowledge. Man yujadilu Allah fi Allahi bighayri ilmin wala hudan wala kitabin munir. Somebody who argues about God and debates and hates on religion, hates on Allah, hates on the Prophet ﷺ, and has no knowledge why they're arguing, nor do they have any guidance, nor is it in light of any enlightened thinking. It's just complaints for the sake of complaining. That's one group of people, but that's not the group of people I want to talk about today. It's the one after that group. The ones that are on the edge, literally on the edge. That's how the Quran describes them. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَعْبُدُ اللَّهَ عَلَى حَرْفٍ. I would translate that as among people, there's somebody who worships Allah at the very edge. Harf is actually the edge of a cliff also. What does that mean? They're not quite stable in their faith. They have unanswered questions, unresolved emotions. How does that manifest itself? Allah describes Himself, فَإِنْ أَصَابَهُ خَيْرٌ اطْمَأَنَّ بِهِ. If some good comes to them, they're doing better now. Okay, Allah actually listened to this dua, so I can pray now. I feel better. وَإِنْ أَصَابَتْهُ فِتْنَةٌ. And if some fitna hits them, fitna means some kind of trial or something that tests their faith. Fitna literally means a test. So Allah did not put the opposite of khair as shar. Right? The in'ikas would have been shar. So you would have expected Allah to say, فَإِنْ أَصَابَهُ خَيْرٌ اطْمَأَنَّ بِهِ وَإِنْ أَصَابَهُ شَرٌ. Nope. وَإِنْ أَصَابَتْهُ فِتْنَةٌ. Why is that word important? Because Allah is letting us know that when something bad happens to you, that is just Allah putting your faith to the test. Allah just wants to see whether you're willing to believe in an Allah that still loves, that still cares, that is still Ar-Rahman, that is still Ar-Rahim, that is still Ar-Raziq. He's still the provider, He's still the protector, He's still the caretaker, even though you can't see it. Even though in front of you, you see like you've got hit with problems. And shaitan wants you to question, where's Allah? So Allah wants to put you in that circumstance sometimes to see how strong your faith is. By the way, this deen begins with الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ. They believe in an Allah who they cannot see. And by that doesn't just mean we don't see Allah. We don't see Allah's plan either. Allah doesn't lay out for you, here's how He's going to have you go about your day. And here's what, you're going through a difficulty now, but there's another ease coming in a few weeks or a few years or a few hours. We don't know. Is things are going to get better in the next minute, or things are going to take 10 years? We just don't know. وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ لِيُطْلِعَكُمْ عَلَى الْغَيْبِ. Allah is not going to be one to inform you of the plans of the unseen. Trust Him that He loves you more than you could possibly even love yourself.